What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? It's your boy Chris Style. You were tuned in to the Arrowhead Chief Podcast. Hope everybody's having a good Tuesday morning, afternoon. We got a lot of things to discuss. The squad is in here. Let's talk Chiefs.
Yeah, Arrowhead Chiefs. It's your girl, Miss Nicole. Queen of Hustle, baby. Started from the bottom, now we here. My homie at the start of his career. Let's go. Try to warn him early, hear the truth. Tune in every Sunday for the juice. Arrowhead Chief Podcast, bringing all the news. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Chris Style, out here rapping for the crew. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube.
What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? We are back. Arrowhead Chief Podcast, episode 135. Like I said, hope everybody's having a good Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday morning. We got most of the squad. Clarence had to dip out for a little bit. He should be back coming in and out. But what's up, guys? How y'all feeling?
Feeling good. Ready for football. Rookies report to camp today. Quarterbacks report too. So ready for that.
What's up, Mark?
We in here.
Well, man, yeah, football is finally here, y'all, and no more boring days. Now we get to hear some training camp news and camp battles and all that stuff, but we're going to get into all of that today. But before we get all that, the DeAndre Hopkins sweepstakes is over. He signed with the Tennessee Titans on a 2-year deal, $26 million, up to $32 million in incentives, $13 million average. What are your guys' thoughts of DeAndre Hopkins taking the money instead of coming for the Super Bowls?
It's like we said before. I mean, we talk about the luxuries and all that stuff, but even so, I think it goes back to the original point, though, what I was saying, even when he had resigned, you don't sign with clutch and not get a bag. It's that simple. So I ain't mad at him. I mean, you recognize where you are as far as with age and stuff like that. He wasted a lot of years, with some of the teams that he's with. But, I mean, you're basically happy for him. So I'm happy to see that he's actually getting his money. So it's like it's nothing to be bitter about. It's not a salty anything about it. Good for him. Get his paper. You definitely wish him the best of luck down in Tennessee. That's my take on it.
Right.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I thought maybe he would be coming to the Chiefs as this situation dragged out, into July, late July, mid-July. But ultimately he took the money, but really he didn't get the bag. I mean, really, if you look at that deal, I mean, up to 32 with incentives for 2 years, that's $16 million a year. That's nothing. I would pay D-Hop that in a heartbeat. That's really nothing for what you're getting in the production and the player you're getting. But I'm just glad the Bills didn't get him, even though we didn't get him. He went to Tennessee. I don't think it really changes much in the AFC with the way the AFC looks. So I'm glad that he didn't end up somewhere else.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I personally, I think that D-Hop, once again, people use the Chiefs to run up the price, and I think him like, I'm waiting for Chris Jones and his extension. I think the agent played a little, games with the Tennessee Titans, like, y'all better give us the offer we want. He might be going to the Chiefs. We're just waiting for that Chris Jones extension. And so Tennessee was like, like 2 years, $26 million, $32 million in guarantee, incentives. And he was like, bump that. I'm taking that. That's the best deal I'm going to get right now. So I'm not mad at him. Get your money, D-Hop. You know what I'm saying? And I hope he has a good, 2 years in Tennessee. What's your thoughts, Clarence? If you could speak.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Like when D-Hop first became available, the idea was him potentially coming to Kansas City, which, I mean, it made it an attractive situation. But, as it kept progressing, you know what I'm saying? It was more like, you go back and you think about the run last year, like it was Juju and other people in his time. I mean, you don't draft the guys that you draft just to let them sit. You know, a Sky Moore, a Rasheed Rice. You know, you got Kadarius, you got Richie James that you brought in. You know, these are vets. Those two are vets. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give them young guys an opportunity to play. And Sky has proven that he's ready to step up. The Charger game, the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So if they got D Hop, I was gonna be happy, but it wasn't gonna be like, okay, he gonna go out there and completely just show out. It wouldn't have worked anyway. He wouldn't have got the targets that he would have needed to be labeled as one of those top guys anyway. Just regardless, because his separation was never like a Tyreek type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, him not coming to Kansas City, it is what it is. I'm cool with it, dog. I'd rather them get Chris done anyway.
Which, you know, that's a good conversation because we had that conversation last week, you know, the pros and cons of getting DeAndre Hopkins, and we talked about if we got D-Hop, it might stunt the growth on some of these younger guys, the Scott Moores, the Rasheed Rices, some of those guys who, you know, last year, you know, they were rookies or rookies this year and could impede them from, you know, producing on the field this year. Now, with no D-Hop, we know definitely Scott Moore is going to give him touches now. We know he's at least going to be the number 3 receiver, possibly moving to the number 2, depending on how consistent MVS is this year. And we know Kadarius Toney is now the clear-cut number 1. He's the number 1 receiver. He is the man now, and he's going to have to produce not, you know what I'm saying, on the field. He's got to produce as far as being healthy. So we'll see now. We'll see how good these guys are, and hopefully they could show out and prove that they are, you know, elite talent or at least good talent on that field. So what's your guys' thoughts with that?
Yeah, I agree. It would have stunted the growth of the rookies, Rasheed Rice, Sky Moore, all those guys. You just traded, you know, a 3rd-round pick for Kadarius Toney less than a year ago. So obviously you want him to be a part of the plan. So bringing in D-Hop really would have slid everybody down a notch on that depth chart, which really I don't know if they could have afforded to do that with the capital they invested into these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the Chiefs have already had the depth, but the question is exactly what do they have in the depth? You know, we've seen, you know, we got our predictions and reserves as far as what we believe is going to happen with Justin Watson and whatnot, and of course, MBS. You work your way down. You know, that battle for the 4, 5, 6, depending on how many receivers they want to carry. I think we're going to be able to have a much more clear picture already. I mean, it's already clear as it is with no D-Hop going on it, but now you go in there, this is what we got. Now you can see exactly what they're going to be working with, and we can see some things change. We can see some players that are high in the depth chart elevate. We have some that are high in the depth chart that can actually drop. We don't know. It's like we still have questions as far as with Justin Ross and what he can do, and how Tony's going to emerge as the number 1, obviously, and then also we got other questions. You know, we have acquiring the free agent from the New York Giants and everything. What is that going to look like? So we're going to have a lot of questions asked, and when we have a lot more clarity, and also, you know, the kind of coach that Reed is schematically, what that's going to do. I think we kind of saw a glimpse of that, you know, to the latter part of the season, obviously, seeing spurts of I'm drawing a blank, seeing little spurts here and there, but I think they're going to be fine when it's all said and done. There's no need to overreact compared to what I seen. I knew it was going to have a fit. It was like, first of all, the ones going off talking about D-Hop and everything. He's like, oh, would he go to a losing team and anything? I said, the way I look at it, hey, it gives a little bit more competition in the South. Good for them. That's a win for the South if there's a winner through that whole thing. So shout out to D-Hop and doing what he got to do, but I like the core that they got. I think it's going to allude to the question as far as what we had talked about last week. I think, you know, we were talking about all the pieces and where we rank this the Chiefs as a whole. They probably could. I mean, they probably could be that number 1 team as far as that with the chemistry and what that looks like. Don't mess up a good thing they already got. I think they're gonna handle business and do it in championship style. No different than from last year.
Yeah, and you brought up a good segue. there's been a lot of hype
Yeah.
these past few on Richie James. A lot of people are talking about Richie James. He had a pretty good, decent season with the Giants. You know what I'm saying? I think he put up what 600 yards, a couple touchdowns.
Yep.
He did his thing, and he was pretty good with the San Francisco 49ers too. He had some good moments with the 49ers. So so I want to ask you guys: are you guys buying into the hype of Richie James? Do you think Richie James makes the team, and are you buying the hype that with Patrick Mahomes, is he going to produce? And what do those numbers look like on the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yeah, I'm definitely buying the hype because when you look at the film last year, you look at the stats, you look at everything. He was really used similar to like a Mecole Hardman almost in our off and more than jet sweeps though, but more in the red zone. They used him a lot. He was really clutch in the red zone for the Giants. And Daniel Jones was throwing him the ball. He had 600 yards. And Dable's system is kind of similar to ours, the way they will use their receivers. So I think Richie James will be used in a similar way here. Now, a successful season for him here. I don't know if he's going to get 600 yards just because we got more receivers over here, obviously, more depth. So it's probably going to be hard for him to reach that mark, but anywhere between probably, I would say 400 to 600 yards and maybe 4 to 6 TDs is possible for Richie James.
That's a fair number. Somewhere between 4 and 6. I agree with that. How he's utilized in this role in Kansas City, that'll be the question because Andy Reid schematically does so many different things with so many different pieces. So you might see him coming out of the backfield a little bit. Who knows? Like we got
Yep.
all those wild cards. We always so focus on who we can treat as a wild card, and like the language of the Chiefs is being versatile. So we might see you might see Richie James, you might see KT's, but I think that's what we're going to see more of a versatile style out of Richie James as far as how he can contribute. So I would say that's realistic 4 to 6, at least maybe 3 touchdowns somewhere in that category. I'm just to see what he does.
Uh, as far as Richie James goes, it's hard to put a number on it.
Mhm.
Excuse me, because I mean the expectation is hopefully he can get some big plays rather than just a first down mover. So for me, it's hard for me to put a number on that because he's so explosive when he gets the ball. Like he had top end speed, especially while he was in San Francisco, but he was never considered like a burner. You know what I mean? Until he gets in the game, and then boom, he returns a punt. Boom, he returns a kick. Boom, he catches a deep ball. You know what I'm saying? So in this offense, I'm excited to see how they implement him. Um, I mean, and it's still up in the air on who steps up during training camp. You know what I mean? Because some people just don't fit this offense. You know what I'm saying? And not to say
Mm-hmm.
that he won't because he's a pro, but some people thrive in it, some people don't. Some people can pick it up relatively quickly, and others can't. You know what I mean? So I gotta hold off what my prediction would be for him until we actually get in training camp and see kind of where they're trying to move him to and some of the routes that they like him on. You know what I mean? But I
Mhm.
think I mean if he makes it, he makes that 53. Definitely, he's gonna provide some explosion. Like that whole wide
Yeah.
receiver core, you can see is being built more for maybe more deep shots now because teams are coming out of that too deep a little bit
Mhm.
more. They're not playing it as much anymore. You know what I'm saying? Especially like last year. You know what I'm saying? So that gives them opportunities to go down the field a little bit more, especially with the speed in that room. So we'll see if they try to go back to more stretch the field and work Trav underneath, work Noah Gray underneath and Jody and McKinnon. We'll see. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's just a wait and see on everybody in that room right now for me.
I think where Richie James could be effective of is like special teams, probably like punt return, kick return, possibly because I don't think Pacheco or Kadarius Toney is going to be back there anymore. I think they want them to concentrate on their, strictly jobs and, especially Kadarius Toney. Now that he's going to be the number one, you don't want him to wear himself out thin, especially with his injury history. So definitely, I can see Richie James possibly being a punt or a kickoff returner, or you maybe even on the kickoff team. You never know.
Let me ask you this real quick though. Okay, I know it's been documented that KT is going to be the number one, but like for real.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna shut up. I'm just asking questions, bro.
I'm just going off what Brett Veach has said. I'm going off what Patrick Mahomes has said. Like, I'm going off of them. Yeah. They're the ones and they don't mince words when it comes to that type of stuff. Like,
yeah, they do. They lie all the time.
I mean, they lie, but I'm just saying. I think Brett Veach sees Kadarius Toney as the number one. He wanted him.
He did in the draft.
He said it numerous times. This is a number one top tier first round wide receiver, and I wanted him. We couldn't get him because unfortunately we had to draft something else. So, or he got drafted before we can even pick.
Yeah,
that's what happened. So the hope is that KT stays 1,000% healthy for 17 plus a playoff push, right?
I think
if 85%,
yeah, they get 12 to 14 games out of this kid.
Listen,
exactly. He got
so y'all expect more catches from KT than Sky.
Yeah,
if he's healthy, yeah. If he's healthy,
okay. Yeah. If he's healthy.
No disrespect to Sky Moore. I think Sky Moore is good. His footwork is nasty. But if we talking dynamic playmaker, Kadarius Toney's a more dynamic playmaker.
He's got top end speed. He's got all the tools. Yeah, I agree with Chris.
In my opinion, I think he's a more dynamic playmaker. I've seen him do stuff on the field that most people can't do, man. Like when he's healthy, he's a playmaker, but it's all health. All about health, man. I hear you, Chris.
Yeah, and that's no disrespect to Sky, but they're just two different kind of receivers.
They are two different receivers. I think what's the name's a better technically sound receiver.
That's
Sky Moore. Like we talking just footwork and all that good stuff.
Route running.
I think Sky is more refined in his skills. I just think that Kadarius Toney is just one of those
more explosive.
Chad, I'm not comparing him to Chad Ochocinco. Don't get it twisted. But I think in the mode of like that playmaker type build where they just go out there and make plays.
So he should get 7 to 8 targets a game.
Yeah.
You want to get the ball in his hands, of course.
I'm sorry, 7 to 8 catches a game.
You want to get the ball in his hands as much as you can. Like the kid can make plays. I mean, I'm just saying.
That's a cold shot in the dark, buddy. Go ahead. I feel you. I'm not disagreeing.
We've seen.
I'm just saying.
We've seen KT have high target games and reduce.
When did you see that?
It's time with the Giants.
Give me an example so I can go pull it up.
Rookie year.
Against the Cowboys,
against the Cowboys, 189 yards on 10 catches with Mike Glennon as his quarterback. Daniel Jones got knocked out.
Yeah, how many other times did he do that year?
What's that, Coach?
He got hurt after that. He got hurt in that game.
Okay. Oh, he got hurt in the same game he went off in? Okay. I'm going to shut up.
Look, I'm right there with you, dog. Look, I'm the one over here that's got to bet on this man to get 1,000 yards for $100.
Why you do that?
Dang.
You know what I'm saying?
You really took
put
that?
100 on it.
Yes, I did. I did that.
That's right.
Man.
I don't know about that.
Desperate times, boy. Desperate times.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just like I mean, we all know that KT is the number one receiver and stuff like that, but it's just some of the unknown variables as far as like with Sky Moore. I don't know. That just makes me hesitant to say.
I mean, it's unknown across the board, man. It's unknown.
Yeah.
Him is unknown. I mean, with Sky Moore,
even
look,
Richie
we all want
James
Sky Moore. Most of us want Sky Moore to succeed. We all do. We all see the potential in Sky Moore. But it might not work.
Devil's advocate. I will say, I don't think in this offense there is a true number one. It's going to take somebody to step up. It's going to take somebody to step up and say, I'm the lead dog in this room.
I agree.
Someone's going to have to do that.
Yep.
It's
to
like
say, listen, it runs through me. This room goes as I go. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody in that room has to be that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Last year they deferred to Juju. I mean, but can he do it?
Yeah, I mean,
can he do it consistently?
We're gonna find out.
See what I'm saying? Like it was easier last year. It was easy last year. See, this is what everybody has to remember. It was so easier for MVS to get one-on-ones and to be able to make some crazy catches in one-on-one. But now he's here. There's no Juju pulling it. You still got Travis, but there's no Juju pulling it. So it's got to be him. Can he step up in that room and say, I'm the lead dog in this room? Somebody has to step up and be the lead damn dog in that room.
We saw MVS do it in the AFC Championship game. He wasn't.
He had a Sammy Watkins
because nobody else was out there.
That's what happened with MVS. But it's like we said, we want to label somebody as a number one, but the way that Pat is seeing the field, especially over the years, is like how we're starting to see his growth. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a much more balanced attack. I mean, granted, I want to see Chris get his money. Don't get me wrong, but I just see it being a lot more balanced. It's like we could be undershooting like some of these receivers. We're talking about 4 to 6, and then we're talking about possibly with Sky Moore. I had him originally sitting around maybe 8 for a good season. We might have close around where it's around the receivers are averaging around 7 or 8 across the board. We don't know. It's just the way that Pat sees the field, and of course Kelsey going to get his, and how that's going to translate. So a lot of questions to be had, but we'll see.
I mean, there's various factors in this. I mean, we could Kelsey's going to get his. We slot him for like 1,250 to possibly 1,300 yards. You know what I'm saying, and 100 and some catches. So put that to the side. Put that to the side. Then after that, it's like Kadarius Toney, I don't know.
They're probably
they're gonna probably try to get him the ball in various different ways, whether it be at the backfield, straight from the receiver's position. Like they're gonna move him all around. They're gonna use him. I'm not saying he's Tyreek Hill, but they're gonna use him kind of like that. Like he's gonna be the because the teams know they will.
The jet action.
Teams know that Kadarius Toney is a playmaker, so they know that we have to keep our eyes on number 19. We can't just let the dude run around the field all willy-nilly like he. So they're never going to have to account for him. Now MVS, he's going to be the deep threat. He's always been. That's his thing. He runs the 9. He runs the post, and that's what he does. That's his bread and butter. So we know what he's all about. Sky Moore is going to be working the middle of the field. They've already said they're going to use him like Juju pretty much. So he's going to be working the middle of the field.
So then that means that Sky is going to have the majority of the catches.
Possible. He's going to be like
the one.
Sky's going to be like.
And he's faster and younger than Juju. So he's going to get a lot of yak yards.
Sky's gonna be like the Julian Edelman of the offense.
Yep. So he's gonna be that over 1,000 yards this year, possibly. That's a huge jump for a second-year guy, but I think he can do it though.
Yeah,
I think he can do it.
Yeah, Sky Moore, he
definitely has the talent, potential to do it.
Well, he had 22 receptions off 33 targets and 250 yards. That was his numbers from last year.
So he wasn't getting a lot of opportunities.
He was.
Yep.
He wasn't getting a lot of opportunities.
But what's the realistic
he got the opportunity? I mean, 1,000 yards. Excuse my language. 1,000 yards. I mean, for real.
I don't know.
I mean, it's just work.
I think it's 6 to 8 for me.
Yeah, I think the realistic is like 700.
Yeah,
and I'll be fine with that. I'm not going to.
Me too, and that wouldn't be. I wouldn't that bad.
I wouldn't condemn him if he didn't get 1,000 yards this season.
Either.
Like, if he gets 700, I don't know,
50
to 60 catches.
What would stop him from getting 1,000 yards? It would be opportunity, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be the thing.
If he got that workload,
opportunity and trust from Pat. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
If he got that opportunity and trust from Pat, can he handle it? I believe he can get 1,000. Because I mean, realistically, what is the projection for MVS?
MVS is probably about 8 to 9.
About 8 to 9 is normal.
What
That's
was his
that's been that's
I gotta
been
look at
his
the career
normal.
high right quick. Hold on.
Yeah, Richie
Oh,
James did have a lot of fumbles and punt returns too with the Giants and the 49ers.
Yeah, he won't be on punt return. Anyway,
Yeah,
no, I was playing. No, but I don't know. Like I said, and then you got to factor in Justin Watson's if he makes the team.
Justin Ross.
Maybe Ross if
John
he makes the
Ross.
team. Like we don't know. Like that. Like we're pretty set on who's gonna make the team. Pretty much. I think so. I think it's Kadarius, MVS, Sky, Justin Watson, Richie James, and I don't know. Maybe
Got one
Justin.
more.
Maybe Justin Rose. Maybe.
Mm.
What's wrong with 3 guys at 6?
I don't think there's anything.
Absolutely
I
nothing.
got no
Nothing.
issue at all.
Absolutely nothing.
That's what I'm seeing.
Absolutely
Because
nothing.
Chris talking about with
I'll
7,
take that any
I see
day.
a push for possibly him having 8 and then maybe 6 TDs. That's what I'm seeing. Just initially.
Who, Sky or MVS?
Sky, I think because with MVS, his career high as far as like in the season was somewhere around 6 or something like that. I think he was close to that number again this year.
He was like 689 or something like that.
But he had a couple. But even so, you can talk about some of the misfires that they had too. He could have easily had 7 or 8 as well. But
and a couple more touchdowns.
I thoroughly agree. So
because there was some shots that Patrick took down the field that he like him. I don't know for some whatever
game.
In the beginning
in the Indy game.
Yep. In the beginning,
it was like week 3.
Their connection was just not there. It was just not there. So it got on towards the end of the season. They started getting better with that. So especially in the AFC Championship game, he was.
But I think
killing them.
But I think even so, I'm not sure y'all saw it though. When I'm probably sure we're going to talk about it later on though. But as things started to open up, we talked about the 2 safety high, and they actually made a very good point in the that whole quarterbacks episode too, where I think it was who was it? Somebody was running that short route, but then one of the safeties they picked up
against San Francisco.
Yeah, it was that San Francisco game, and then they made that adjustment with MVS, and then that was the one time that they made the connection and stuff like that. I think as Pat is starting to see that more often, you probably are going to see more of those shots, and they're going to get a little bit more consistency.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, since we're talking about it, the quarterback series on Netflix came out last week. Everybody was talking about it. I'm sure you guys watched it. I don't know how many episodes you guys watched, but I'm sure you guys watched it. I wanted to get your guys' assessment on the series and what you thought about it. Start with you, Ty.
Yeah, so I'm only on episode 5 still. I've been slacking a little bit. I haven't finished it yet, but so far from what I'm seeing,
worried about them dog ass.
I really like the show.
Get your head out them Knicks and get your mind on the Chiefs.
But so far, I really like the show, and I'm glad that they did this. And I made me really like Kirk Cousins a lot more. I got a lot of respect for him. Marcus Mariota's part was really, let's be honest, was boring. I wasn't there for Mariota's part at all. I almost wanted to skip through it, but it was tough to watch. But Kirk Cousins and Patrick Mahomes was great stories for the show. And then, it just gives you a little bit look into how things are behind the scenes, when they're not out there playing football, because we don't know what, when he gets home, when Pat said when he gets home, the first thing he sees is a smile on his daughter's face, and everything else is, don't matter basically. So I was cool just to see all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. What you got, Mark?
I saw the whole thing, so I definitely got a much greater respect for Kirk Cousins and how he persevered throughout that whole entire season. You only know so much as far as what they release in the reports, as far as with injuries and whatnot, and they work and stuff. Yeah. But he definitely got his respect from me, definitely, as far as all that he had to endure and stuff like that. And also, shout out to his family and stuff like that, being able to contribute. I know just watching it from first sight and everything, we watch it as fans of the game, but obviously the whole family dynamic, we don't see it from their perspective, and they go through a lot more than we realize. Yeah. So shout out to all to the families and all that, and of course the players and whatnot. Mariota situation, that was a tough watch to see. Obviously, you wish him the best, as far as going into next season. For those that know, he's over at the Eagles now. It was just a tough situation for him, going down to Atlanta and having him trying to coexist, trying to rebuild something, that took place in Tennessee into a whole different environment. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't work. So it's just, you have your reserves as far as what you think for Mariota. Mahomes, I would say like the biggest piece though, shout out to the trainer and stuff like that. As far as I had worked with him, you learned a lot as far as with the background, them going all the way back to when he was in the 4th grade and him being able to have the money to be able to bring out these trainers and everything to make that whole transition. It takes a lot really to convince, for some of these trainers and these people that they hold close, just be able to move cities, just to be able to train. Obviously, he got the dollars to do it and stuff like that. So, Mahomes can do what he want to do, but overall, the show was cool. Just basically recapping the whole season. You had those moments you relived when you remember a lot of the things with the Bills and the things that happened, and I liked how they exploited that. The whole dynamic as far as they were dealing with Cincinnati and stuff like that. You started to see the breakdown stuff. I think even so, we already knew Mahomes had the passion for the game and how much he hates losing and stuff like that. It's good to see the behind the scenes and stuff like that. I saw some of the comments. I hope that was a ridiculous troll talking about we got kids watching this and everything. Got no issue with that. It's just raw emotion. If you too soft to deal with that, then go watch I don't know, whatever. Go watch Pee Wee football or something like that where they don't whatever. But
they cuss there too.
Well, yeah, true that. But I had no issues with it. To me, it was more entertaining than watching Hard Knocks. I mean, I ain't trying to knock anybody that watch it. It's just not my cup of tea anymore. It was good to see,
watching it this year though.
Well,
watching it this year.
Right. It was. I ain't watching that, but it was a good perspective.
Yeah, Aaron.
He's already mad about it too.
But I don't, that's a whole other subject. I don't blame A-Rod for being mad about that and all that. But I think the question is, if they do it again going to next year, who would I want to see? I wouldn't mind seeing Josh Allen and probably one of these rookies coming up. That's who I'd want to see next year if they do another quarterback's season. If they do it,
right on. What you got, Clarence?
I mean, Pat is Pat. You know what I'm saying? That expectation, that level. You don't get the 2 MVPs. You don't get the Super Bowls unless you like that. You know what I'm saying? So I expected that. And I got to tip my hat to Kirk. I mean, he had a new head coach coming in, a totally new system. He's trying to learn checks on the fly. He's trying to remember them. You know what I'm saying? The audible, the hot calls, like everything. And for them to win as many games as they won, and the way that they played going up to Buffalo, like, I mean, got to tip your hat to him. I mean, Marcus was Marcus, but it's a dope show, and they did sign on for season 2. So it's just a matter of who's going to be 3 quarterbacks in there.
Yeah. I agree. I pretty much agree with all y'all. I mean, the preparation that these guys put into this game is crazy, especially with Kirk Cousins, with some of the technology that he uses, the thing that he puts around his head, the focus. When you're not focused, the screen turns dim. Like, that was crazy to me. Some of the brain stuff that he does, and then like Clarence said, him having to remember a new system. The game, I forgot what game it was, where he calling out the play and he was like, "Why, whatever, like whatever."
Oh,
so,
yeah.
so the why is like, where am I supposed to go, man? Like, and he still scores on the play, like that type of stuff, man. Is like you come to appreciate that type of stuff because it's like these dudes have to learn a lot and spitting out the play.
Let me ask you a question real quick. Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Do y'all think that documentary made people feel like what's going on right now with these running backs? Because you've seen it, with Pat, Kurt, et cetera, et cetera. You think they look at it and say, oh, well, running backs are replaceable. It don't matter. I'm saying, you think that helped to push that narrative? Because here we are today. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if it pushed the narrative. I just think that it was I think this was more so just to go into under the helmet of a quarterback. Like,
but all people are not created equal.
True.
Number one. Number two, they'll see that and they'll say, this person's great, this person's great. Yeah, it don't matter for like a Dalvin Cook. It don't matter for Austin Eckler. It don't matter for a Saquon or a Josh, because they'll look at that and they say, you know what, they're right. Quarterback is the hardest position on the field. Quarterback is the most important position on the field. So everybody else is replaceable and they just a dime a dozen. You know what I'm saying? Like how they perceive it. Because the way we look at it through our lens, totally different than you can go on Twitter right now and it's out of control in them streets.
Yeah.
All right. So
I mean, if you're a casual fan, I could see you looking at it like the running back is irrelevant.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about the quarterback. And I mean, most casuals probably think that, like, it's all about the quarterback. It's all I care about. Because, I mean, let's just take it, no disrespect to the ladies, but most ladies who watch football, they watch it for the quarterback, throwing it down the field. Every time I hear from a girl that's a Chiefs fan, she talks about Mahomes. She don't talk about and Kelsey. That's it. You don't hear Isaiah talking about Jared McKinnon. I'm talking about the casuals, not the ladies out there who actually watch the game. Talk about
Clean it up, Chris. Go ahead and clean that up.
I'm just saying, the ladies out there who actually watch the game. I know y'all out there. I see y'all.
Clean it up, brother. Clean it up, dog. Yes, sir. Clean it up.
I see y'all. You heard what I said. I said casuals. I said casuals first.
He did say casuals, so don't be coming out.
Yeah, I say casuals. That's my disclaimer. So, but no, there's women out there I know who watch the game, and they'll talk to you about Isaiah Pacheco and how important he is, and McKinnon, how important he was, and pass protection and catching the football out the backfield. Like McKinnon was like the second best receiver on the team last year, pretty much. Behind Kelsey. Like, let's just keep it real. Like, so they're important. Like, we know they're important. You know what I'm saying? If you watch football enough and you love this sport like we do, you know that running backs are important, because it's as much as they say it's a passing league, I always say it's a balanced league. You have to be balanced in this league, because these defensive coordinators are too damn good for you to just be one-dimensional. You can't just throw every game. Like, you're gonna wear. First of all, you're gonna wear your quarterback out. By the end of the season, you're gonna be tired. So you got to have a healthy balance, or at least in the Chiefs' case, you got to at least have a decent balance of quarterback and running back. You know what I'm saying? So and then when it started getting cold, you got to have a good running back to run it up the gut and get them tough yards. Like, you got to. Like, if you don't have no running back, good luck.
You'll be the Bills. You'll be the Bills when they're running.
Exactly. And run your quarterback right to the ground.
Or even so, you can take it from the Chiefs' perspective. Because even so, you can go back to the AFC title game 2 years ago when they just seemed to go one-dimensional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
same thing.
That second half against the Bengals, right?
Yep.
They was getting
McKinnon
like
was getting 6 yards per carry.
Yeah.
He only got like 8 carries, 66 yards, something like. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
I think everybody was yelling, "Run the ball." At least somebody that has a clue was yelling, "Why aren't they running?"
But I mean, the running back position is definitely still important. But the thing is, you can fill that running back position and have a running game with the 7th round rookie. You can do it with a 5th round rookie, with the 3rd round rookie. You don't have to draft the top tier guy to have a running game. Now, there's certain teams out there like the Giants, the Raiders, who have these top tier running backs that absolutely need these guys on their team to be successful. Look what happened when Saquon was hurt for the Giants those years. They were terrible. Then he comes back, gets healthy. They get a new coach. All of a sudden, Daniel Jones looks decent. So, I mean, for certain teams, you got to value the running back position more than others. Obviously, if you're the Chiefs, you don't have to. You don't have to value it very high, because you can go get a Darrell Williams or a Damian Williams to fill that role.
Yeah.
But if you're the Bill, but on the flip side of that, like, look at what the Bills have done. They don't have a running game, and they've tried to replace it with mid-tier running backs, and it just hasn't worked.
I just think Devin Singletary got a bad rep, because when they gave him the ball, he actually was decent. They just wanted to give it to Josh Allen so damn much. Like, I don't know.
Josh Allen is not a running game ideal. It's not. I don't care what anybody says and how they feel and all that stuff. Well, Josh Allen is a dynamic. He can run the ball and run over people. Yeah, that's going to get him hurt long term. That's not going to work.
Yep.
Yeah,
You don't want your quarterback taking as many hits as he does.
Exactly.
Now, as far as back to the quarterback series, another thing I'll take away from this is Patrick Mahomes and Max Crosby are going to have, that rivalry for years.
Yep.
Like you see with Pat, like the first game against the Raiders when he gave him a little punch, and it's like, hey man, come on, man, you can't be punching on me, dog. Like you could just see that in-game rivalry, because even after the game, they dap it up, hug it up, whatever. And even in the second game when he thought he hit him in the back of the head, like you could just see like their relationship. As long as Max Crosby is on the Raiders, they're gonna be going at it for years, and they're gonna have that in-game rivalry where you'll talk about it for years down the line. NFL Films is gonna do something on it or whatever. So shout out to that. I saw that. What I would like to see with the second season, instead of a Marcus Mariota, and no disrespect to Marcus Mariota, you know what I'm saying? I actually felt bad for Marcus Mariota through this series because you just saw it coming. Like,
yeah,
eventually they're gonna replace.
You
knew. We do.
Maybe they should put a rookie instead.
We knew.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah,
they should let one of those first round rookies, whether
I would like that,
Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, or Anthony Richardson, see how it is for their transition coming from college,
to the NFL.
league. You know what I'm saying? They're how their life just totally changes now. You know what I'm saying? Now they got to take it to another level. Like you follow Bryce Young coming from Alabama, who's a highly touted college, so now he's in the NFL. Now he's a rookie. He's no longer on
one of the worst teams
in the league, and now he's got to program himself to be a leader on this team and try to be a leader to grown men who have been in the league for years. So I would like to see them do a rookie. They should do a top tier quarterback, maybe at Josh Allen. I see him go out
Joe Burrow,
Joe Burrows, or something like that.
Jalen Hurts was interesting.
Yeah, the mid tier quarterback. You know what I'm saying? A Derek Carr or somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? Him,
Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, guys like that. Do that in the middle, and then a rookie. I wouldn't mind seeing a rookie being the third quarterback. So I think that would take the series to another level.
I agree. I'd love to see that.
And it would get eyes on these rookies too. Like, oh, okay, let me see what this rookie talking about. So yeah. All right, man. Let's talk about Ty's favorite subject matter. Chris Jones, baby. Chris Jones extension watch. We're sitting here waiting on. Look, me and Mark are in the wellhouse of it's gonna get done, baby. It's gonna happen. Ty's over there sweating bullets. I don't know what Clarence is doing. I think Clarence is on somewhere neutral in the middle. But look, man, it's gonna happen, man. Y'all need to calm down, man. And from what I'm hearing from Jeremy Fowler, they might be looking at extending L'Jarius Sneed too. So what y'all think about that?
It'll be done by this weekend. I ain't tripping.
Okay, well that's what Clarence thinks.
I'm not tripping on it either. I'm just saying there's a lot of people that told me it would be done by now. I'm looking at one of them right now. It is still not done. It's still not done. We're still waiting.
Hey,
I mean, rookies report today. We're about to be starting training camp a couple days. Chris Jones will be showing up to St. Joe. He better have that deal when he shows up there.
It's gonna happen, man. You're gonna be okay.
It's gonna get done when it get done.
It's gonna get done, man.
He's gonna have with extended Sneed. That'd be ideal.
Ty, answer me this: why is it so important to him to be there before Sunday? Why?
I mean, he doesn't.
They don't even practice until Sunday. So why you worried? Relax.
I was that you that put that ridiculous scenario in there.
Oh, he's a vet. Relax.
Who was that put that ridiculous scenario in there about Chris Jones?
Oh, what are you talking about?
I forgot. Somebody was pulling them ridiculous scenarios about Chris Jones not getting signed, or if it don't hypothetically it didn't happen. Who was that?
Oh, you talking about your ass, Chris?
I mean, I did. I did a
falling out of the earth.
I did a hypothetical trade
Justin
scenario.
Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson for Chris Jones. I know I did that. I don't want it to happen. It was just a hypothetical, you know. If you woke up,
if it did happen, let's be honest, nobody would be mad.
What would your reaction
be?
I think Clarence would be hot. I think Clarence
would be
hot. I think he'd be throwing stuff.
Yeah, I'd be hot.
I think he'd be boiling hot.
Yeah, hypothetical.
I'd be mad initially, but then you know, as the season go on,
I don't think I would because
Justin Jefferson is catching passes over DBs. I'm like, okay,
I couldn't be mad because Jefferson's like my favorite receiver in the league.
But I don't want it to happen.
I
don't want it to happen. It was just a trade scenario. I really just wanted to see Ty's reaction because I knew he was going to react a certain way. And then Mark, he added to that. He was just the icing on the cake because both of them was tongue tied. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I knew that's why he did it the whole time. I knew it.
And then I also did it because I knew Clarence was going to see it and he was going to be boiling hot.
I ain't studying you, Chris.
Because I missed you, Clarence. I hadn't seen you in so long, so I had to put a trade scenario to get you out here, man. Get you in these streets again.
Yeah, it was you, Ty. I'm going back.
You play too damn much.
It was you. What if the extension doesn't happen?
What if it doesn't happen? I mean, that's
he did put that tweet out there.
Happen?
Yeah, it was him. I'm like, I know we talked about it. You gonna put it back in there.
If it doesn't happen, he'll be playing on his last end of his contract, $28 million. That's what will happen. He's still gonna play this season.
Yeah.
He's just playing on his last year. So, but look, I think the deal
get 2 contract years out of him.
It's gonna get done.
It's gonna get done, man. You're gonna be okay, Ty. I'm gonna let you when it happens. I'm gonna let you break the news, man. I'm gonna let you do the breaking news with a smile on your face. You know what I'm saying? You could break down you could break down the contract information and all that good stuff. You could be our Adam Scheffner, our Ian Rappaport, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's usually Ty anyway.
You know what I'm saying? I'll let you break that down for us, man. Because I know you're gonna be happy. We all gonna be happy. Chris Jones gets paid. Our sideline insider reporter Ty is gonna let us know what the particulars in the deal. That's what I'm gonna shoot to you.
I'm gonna be crying at every damn thing. You got signed. No.
Ty Schefter.
We did it. 4
That's it, official Chiefs Kingdom. We're here. We're better than the Knicks.
The Knicks.
Keep that, Knicks. Keep that, you New York Knicks.
Don't let them talk about the Knicks like that, man.
Oh my God.
That's messed up. That's messed up, Clarence.
Get him back.
He want Joel to go to New York. Like, come on, dog. Wake up.
Why? What did you want Joel to go to LA?
Dreams are for suckers. He ain't going to no New York, man. Wake up.
God,
it's possible, man. We're the favorites to get him. I'm just saying.
Vegas knows something.
Yeah.
Right.
Leon Rose got his CAA connection.
I'm just saying.
I'm still mad at them stupid summer league rings.
Sure, Ty. Sure. I'm gonna let you.
I don't even want to talk about basketball right now.
I don't either.
Sure, Ty.
Them stupid summer league rings. I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that either.
Like, you don't just get a basic T-shirt.
We ain't talking about summer league. We talking about the damn Knicks and how stupid they are.
I don't want to talk about them either.
Give up hope for the Knicks. They ain't getting no damn Joel Embiid.
Is Patrick Mahomes playing for the Knicks?
No, we don't care.
He wouldn't be caught dead.
I don't know. He might average 20 on him. Oh, no. Let's talk about training camp battles, fellas. What are some of the training camp battles that you were looking forward to coming into this training camp season? Go ahead, Mark.
Definitely the wide receiver position, right? I mean, the tackles, definitely we're watching that left tackle position. I think that's even a bigger question mark heading into the season than anything else on this roster. So I'm going to be watching Donovan Smith throughout, and the rookie Wanye Morris, who gets forgotten about a lot because he played left tackle a lot during OTAs and all that. So I'll be seeing where he gets reps at, whether he's getting them at left tackle or right tackle. But there's pretty much position battles at every position this year. I mean, besides quarterback, besides the obvious ones, but.
What you got, Mark?
Understand, let this be a lesson from last year. Just because you started last year or whatever, don't mean that your job is safe. So, all these rookies and how they performed at the highest level and whatnot, you're expendable. Tyreek Hill, despite, there was no question about it, as far as $1, everybody's expendable. The receivers and everything. I mean, you want to pull for somebody as much hype they've been putting behind Justin Ross, but it just tells me, as far as with the depth and what that looks like, if he's gonna get his spot, he's definitely gonna earn it. That's just basically how it's seen in a nutshell as far as they're dealing with the receiver battle. The tackle situation, I think that's gonna be the most intriguing for me because obviously, the Chiefs made their moves. Everybody has their reserves as far as how they feel as far as with tackle and whatnot. And it's like, do they feel secure? Do they not feel secured and spend that money on people like Jawan Taylor and obviously our latest acquisition now Tampa Bay. I'm not sure how comfortable feel that. And of course, you guys had your reserves as far as with Niang. And I don't know. It just we're far from done. I think we're gonna figure it out. You just hope that everybody come out healthy and through this training camp. So we'll see when they get out of it. I'll just leave it at that. We'll see. Do I feel secure? I mean, coming out of training camp, I just want to be for sure as far as with tackle. Tackle is my biggest concern amongst any position out there. I will say that.
I mean, as far as tackle goes, I mean, it's really the left side because I mean, Jawan Taylor's going to start regardless of whether it be on the left side or the right side. Like if Donovan Smith is not, if he's not that good, then they're going to kick him to the left. That's what's going to happen because they paid him. So
did they pay Donovan Smith?
Huh?
They paid Donovan Smith?
They paid. No, I'm saying they paid Jawan Taylor.
He got like $3 million.
Okay.
No, I'm saying
so they can get out of that. He can be a cut. He can get cut.
That's what I'm saying. He could get cut.
Yeah.
But I'm saying Jawan Taylor on the start. That's the question. Jawan Taylor. He got paid.
Which side is he starting on?
What side is he starting on is really just where the question is at. Because Niang or one year more might be, battling it out for that right side. And I'm team Niang over here. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was decent when he played. Shout out to Boogie. You know what I'm saying?
Look, Chris, we in the same boat with Lucas. I feel the same way about Lucas, dog. Over Donovan Smith, never mind. I'm gonna shut up.
I know how you feel.
Oh yeah, the only other question I had too is I want to see the development of Shamari Connor too. That's my only question as far as how he's going to fit into. I think he's going to be significant piece in the rotation. He has potential. I will say that.
This defensive line training camp is going to be interesting. The development of Karlaftis. Yeah. How does FAU look in his first season? You know what I'm saying? How they use him, whatever. Charles Omenihu, in this defense. You know what I'm saying? So. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they'll add another veteran, whether it be Corliss Dunlap or somebody else. I'm sure they'll add another veteran to this defensive line, but that's going to be interesting. The safety position is where it's going to be interesting because as much as we think Brian Cook is a shoe-in, I don't know. They signed Mario Edwards, you know what I'm saying, in the offseason. Like, I don't know. They might look at him as the starter. So we'll see. You know what I'm saying? I think cornerback is pretty set. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think corner set too.
I think the only battle you will see as far as corner goes is maybe
like Najee Johnson and Nick Jones.
Or Williams and Watson. Who's that third and fourth corner? Does Williams take that next step to where – because his problem is that, he was in position. He's just getting his head around and, being more confident in, where he's at on the field on the receiver. So – that's probably going to be a battle right there. So, and then Drew Tranquil versus Willie Gay, maybe, or Tranquil versus Leo Chenal. You know what I'm saying? That could be a battle. You know what I'm saying? It's still going to be a healthy rotation, whoever starts, but that could be a battle right there. So, we definitely got some interesting battles on offense and defense. Of course, that receiver room is always going to be that's definitely the biggest one right there because, after Sky Moore, I would say it's a battle.
It is. Yeah. That
After
fourth,
Sky
fifth,
Moore,
and
yeah,
sixth.
that's going to be where the battle is. It's Richie James, Justin Watson, maybe Justin Ross, maybe John Ross. Like, you never know.
But Rice is probably a shoe in for that fourth.
Okay, Rice. So after Rice, what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It'll probably be that 5 and 6 spot. So who after him, who's gonna, take hold? Does Justin Ross show enough in training camp and in preseason games that he should get that spot? Mm-hmm. Usually they reserve those spots for special team guys. So
yeah,
we'll see.
And he can't really.
He's not a punt returner, and I don't think he's a gunner. Maybe they make him a gunner, but I don't think he's one. So we'll see. And especially with his injury history, I don't think you want to make him a gunner.
He just wants to be a receiver.
So we'll see. But I think it's going to be a lot of interesting camp battles. Especially at that quarterback position. We definitely don't know who's going to start out this
plan. We don't know who's going to be the backup. No, I'm playing. It's
Blaine Gabbert.
It's going to be the vet. Yeah. And now you can keep 3 quarterbacks, right? Without it.
Yeah, you can keep 3.
So Shane Bichelle is going to be.
Bichelle had the 3rd.
Yeah.
He still be there. So, all right, fellas, I want to do something new with you guys. Let's play a little game. I call it More Likely. You ready for this, fellas?
What kind of FS1 moment is this?
just humor me. What is more likely to happen next season? Sky Moore gets 800 yards or Karlaftis gets 10 sacks? I'll start with you, Ty.
Ooh, this is a tough one, but I'm going to go with Karlaftis getting 10 sacks because we've seen what he did at the second half of that season last year. He had 6 sacks it was last year. Mm-hmm. And he'll get more playing time this year with Frank being gone. Obviously, Carlos Dunlap's not in the building yet. So I'm going to go with Karlaftis getting 10 sacks.
How about you, Mar?
I agree. Karlaftis 10 sacks as far as schematically what that's going to look like. Obviously, the secondary, that's going to be improved. So you're going to be able to drop a lot more early in the season. You're going to be able to have more dynamics. Now, you talk about the other side, the likelihood of him getting 800 yards, that might be more so. If you'd have told me a combination, but I just see the 10 sacks being more realistic.
You there, Clarence?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sky, dog.
I do. That's why I like.
You knew it. You knew I was gonna say that shit.
I like Clarence.
You knew I was gonna say that shit. I don't even know why you tried me, Chris. You knew it. You knew I was gonna say Sky, dog. Look, Dunlap gonna come back maybe before week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that George won't do his thing. I think George is good for maybe 8.5 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
He may even push for 10. He may even still get the 10. But I think where Sky is, I think like Country mentioned, 3 guys with, what did he say, 800? Or did he say
6 to 800?
Yeah. In that range, 3 guys, yeah. Sky is one of those 3. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, absolutely. Sign me up for that Sky move.
All righty. I'm going to go with Sky Moore, too. You know what I'm saying? I just think that, of course, Chris Jones is going to get his, you know what I'm saying? And he's going for that defensive player of the year. I think he's going to try to get that 17, maybe 20-something sacks this year. So
that's it. The teams will let them, though. They're going to be doubling the hell out of them.
I mean, they ain't got no choice, man. You know what I'm saying? When you're that guy, he ain't got no choice. You can try to block me
against the Raiders.
You know what I'm saying? You can try to block me all you want, but I'm Chris Jones, so he'll probably get his numbers. Nah, I'm not saying George. It's like Clarence said. He could flirt with it. He can flirt with it. But I'm going with Sky Moore getting 800 yards, baby. I'm going with it. He's gonna prove y'all wrong.
I mean, I'm not hating on Sky Moore.
Not you guys. You know who I'm talking to, Ty.
He need KT to get 1,000 yards. So
what you say?
I said you need KT to get 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I do.
That's what you need.
Yeah.
If you come up with 998,
I'm gonna be sad. I'll be very sad. I'll be very sad.
We're breaking the TV.
I ain't gonna do that.
I ain't all about that.
People are stupid to do that. Why the hell would you break your own TV? You paid for that. It ain't that serious. Huh?
What's the odds on that?
Well, no, I did it with I betted somebody. Like,
oh, okay.
He was a Raider fan. He was a Raider fan. He was talking crazy about our receiving core and how we was trash. And I was like, it's all right, Kadarius. Somebody get 1,000 yards on y'all.
What your grandma or your grandpa used to say? Don't you touch that damn TV set. You keep your hands off that set now.
Yeah, I'm not breaking my TV. But yeah, it was a Raider fan. My boy Maul. Shout out to Maul.
Yep, I knew it.
You know what I'm saying? He was talking trash about our receiving core. Saying we was trash. Who y'all got? We got Kadarius.
He gonna see. He gonna see who we.
You can't
probably get five. He'll probably get 500 on y'all.
Trash. Hold on. Wait a minute. You can't talk trash.
Did it matter last year? Did the wide receiver room matter?
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't. You can't talk about trash about somebody else's receiving core, and you got receivers on your own team running to one another. I'm just saying.
You got one of them that want to leave. He about to want to leave by trade deadline.
You got Jimmy G. He can't even pass the physical yet. So
they're gonna have what's his name, Morgan Tanner or whatever his name is. That's who we throwing the football to.
Jimmy gonna be their quarterback.
You better hope so.
He gonna be there.
Exactly.
He'll be in the walking boot.
They got that. Don't forget, they got that out on the contract. If you don't. It's a couple more
they do. If he don't pass the physical, he might be on the streets. He might be on the streets. Hope he ain't buy no house in Las Vegas.
Just get a job. He gotta have a house in Vegas. Come on now. You know his track record off the field.
You better get a hotel room. Get a hotel room.
Huh?
Better get a hotel room.
You got that hoochie trail going, boy. What you talking about? Hoochie's on us. What do you mean?
This is stupid. All right, let's go to the next question. What's more likely to make the team, Justin Watson or Justin Ross? Start with you, Mark.
Justin Watson. I mean, that's Mahomes' guy. That's no question about it.
I ain't want to hear that. No, go ahead.
I know you ain't want to hear, but that's the truth. You think I want to say that out of my mouth, just saying that part? I want to see. I mean, Justin Ross is my dark horse. I just think he's gonna be something special. That's just me.
Go ahead.
More likely.
It says more likely, which would make me want to go with Justin Watson, but I'm gonna go with Justin Ross based off the talent. I'm gonna go with Justin Ross.
That's what I'm talking about.
Even though Justin Watson's probably more likely to make the team, I'm gonna go with Justin Ross though.
What you got, Clarence?
Didn't Justin Watson drop a couple passes last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go
More
with
than a
Ross
couple.
then. Damn that Watson, just because he was here last year and experienced, don't mean nothing. Let's go with the young bull. Let's go.
That's what I'm talking about,
Justin
Clarence.
Ross,
I'm right there with y'all, man. Justin Ross, baby.
I catch sometimes, and man, go ahead, dog.
Mr. Don't fight for the ball, man.
Exactly.
Get him off the team.
6'4", playing like he's
Thank you.
5'11".
Get him off my team, man. Send him back to Tampa Bay, man.
Thank you. Play with Baker.
Yeah, go play Baker. Not that LA Fields. Yeah. Anyway.
Y'all feelings.
Damn, Mark.
No, y'all know that Justin Ross is my dark horse. I've been saying it even early even when the season.
Why you ain't pick him then? Why you ain't pick him? Stick to
because I'm just saying though, the more likely, we're not stupid. That's like that's like throwing a scenario. What's more likely to happen? Patrick Mahomes, a quarterback sneak, and I don't know, Kelsey throwing a pass. Kelsey throwing a pass is more likely than, I mean, just being realistic.
Oh, that's a good question. You just gave me a question to think about, Mark. What's more likely to happen? Mahomes QB sneak or the behind the back pass?
The
behind the back pass.
Behind the back.
And they converted too.
I think that's gonna happen. from this
I think
year.
it
I
happens.
just
I
I
think
think
And they
at some
converted.
point
Yeah, for a touchdown.
it's gonna be in the red zone too. You
Yeah,
already know it.
they just better be up by 3 scores. It better not be no damn close
Oh, if
ass
we're up by
game.
3 scores, then we ain't doing it.
3-7.
You know that.
Yeah, you know how Andy does it. We're gonna pull out this trick play right here. Like, no, man, not right now. Let's be about 14. Then you can do that, man. Nah, he is. All
Don't
right,
need to
what's
trick them
more
if you're up 14. You don't need to trick them though.
true? What's more likely? Bigger impact, FAU or Rishi Rice?
That's a tough one.
I'm gonna go with FAU. I think he's a first round pick. Obviously, they're going to want to play him. There isn't much. Yeah, they brought in Charles Omenihu, but I really think he's going to be playing a lot on the inside next to Chris Jones. And FAU, unless they bring in a veteran between now and then, is going to be starting, most likely getting a high number of snaps, probably more than what George got last year to start out. So I'm going to go with FAU. And then obviously with the receiver thing, we already talked about it. There's 3 guys ahead of Rashee Rice right now, and maybe even there might be 4 guys ahead of Rashee Rice, depending on what happens in training camp. So
These are the facts. What you got, Mark?
The unknowns. That's what I'm banking on because I'm a bite the bullet and say Rashee Rice.
Ooh.
For the simple fact that I just believe that, for the reason we have the expectations for KT, we have the expectations for Sky Moore, we had the expectation for MBS, but when you have that one dark horse, that unknown, is that we don't know what to expect, how he's going to break on the ball, how he's going to break. And, we always talk about, from a smaller conference to a big conference, those small conference, those receivers and players that come out from these small conferences, they break out and do something on you. So I'm going to bite the bullet and go with Rashee Rice in this situation.
What you think, Claire?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go FAU, dog, just simply because Rasheed Rice is going to have to be uber dynamic in order to break that starting rotation, dog. Like, he's going to, have to, spectacular play after spectacular play in order for Andy to be like, okay, let's let this young kid get his opportunity now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I got to go with the D line.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with FAU too. I think he's probably more polished. You know what I'm saying? So I think I've already said that I think he's more of a polished pass rusher than what George was coming into his rookie season. He's got all various moves already. So I think they're gonna exploit that a little bit. And I know Joe Cullen's gonna love him. So I think they're gonna use him as a situational pass rusher. So he's gonna get his opportunities a little bit more. So I think he'll have the bigger impact. So I'll go with FAU. What's more likely? Kadarius Toney plays 12 games, or MVS gets 1,000 yards. Let's start with you, Clarence.
Kadarius get that, play them 12 games. ain't no way MVS getting no 1,000 yards, bro. Ain't no way. He never did it.
Damn.
He never did it.
Never.
Ever.
Look, Kadarius Toney ain't never played 12 games either.
Well, then that puts us in a box now, doesn't it?
Woo! What you got, Ty?
I'm gonna go with Kadarius Toney playing 12 games. No disrespect to MBS, but 1,000 yards for MBS, that would be crazy. I don't see that happening.
12 games. I mean,
I'm going. I'm going 12 games. I need my $100, man.
MVS gets 1,000 yards, and Chris just lost $100.
I'd be happy for MVS. I mean, hey, whatever, but that $100 would hurt. You know what I'm saying? See if I can go on a payment plan.
all I know, if I see bombs away at MBS right out the gate, then there might be a problem.
First game, he has 150 yards.
What's more likely? Trent McDuffie 5 ENTs or Isaiah Pacheco 10 touchdowns?
until Brick Hands can show me he can catch the ball. I'm going with Pacheco.
Hey, chill down.
And you saw him last year.
Godly, jeez.
He should have had 5 last year.
Yeah, he should have.
He should have had 2 at least.
Yeah,
but Pacheco, I think the Chiefs. I mean, I'll say this for 2 reasons. One, because we saw Pacheco for half the season. 2, I think the firing these is like, granted, you talk about the Chiefs winning the whole thing. Obviously, we're going to look at from the points where they can improve. But those 3rd and 1 situations and 3rd and on the goal line situations, it's one of those things they've got to improve on. And I think Pacheco will be the guy to get them there.
I'm gonna go with Pacheco as well. Well, I don't think, and it's not a knock on McDuffie. I think he's going to have a great year. But Pacheco, he almost had 10 touchdowns last year. I feel like he had 6 or 7 rushing touchdowns. So obviously a lot more playing time. And then obviously knowing that he's going to be starting out the gate should get him up to 10. With the 5 interceptions, I don't see that happening for McDuffie. And it's not because I don't think he's a good corner or anything like that. But really, if you look at it, the teams are not going to throw at him that much. Especially last year we seen it. So he's not getting 5.
I give him 2.
Yeah.
And the other side of that too, the 10 touchdowns, is that rushing or is that both?
It could be both.
If it's both, then for sure 10. Because I feel like he's going to get used in the passing game more this year.
I think they'll figure it out. I think, we're talking about, while everybody else playing checkers, Andy Reid playing chess. I think he's gonna figure it out how to give him 10 rushing.
What says you, Clarence? Is it in? Oh, he's probably busy. All right, I'm going with Trent McDuffie, 5 interceptions, baby. You only need 2 in one game and 3 in another. So there you go. 5 interceptions.
2 in one game.
Yes, you're damn right.
Can you get 1 first?
The Raiders, it can happen. We've seen all kinds of miracle things happen when Raiders.
We played.
What's his name? The bum cornerback had a fumble return for a touchdown.
Who?
So Mike Hughes, matter of fact, he got the first touchdown in that Raider game. Anything can happen. So that could very much happen.
I'm just saying. I'm going with my guy Trent McDuffie. And so the last one. What's more likely? Pat Mahomes repeat as MVP or Chris Jones Defensive Player of the Year?
I'm gonna go with the Defensive Player of the Year because I really think Mahomes is about to get in that like that LeBron treatment where it's like he's not gonna be winning MVPs when really he should because people are just gonna they just expect so much out of him that it's gonna take like a 50 touchdown year really for him to win MVP. Chris Jones could win Defensive Player of the Year. He was in the discussion last year. It's definitely possible. He gets 17, 18 sacks. It's definitely possible. So I'm gonna go with that. More likely.
Mahomes, in order for him to get MVP, would have to throw 5,050. That's pretty much the standard with Mahomes. That was what he threw in his inaugural season as a starting quarterback. He had 5,000 in that season, and they're not going to. If he dropped 1 yard under 5,000, they ain't going to They ain't going to give it to somebody else that has 4,030, or or their team explodes. I mean, realistically, they'll probably give it to somebody like Trevor Lawrence if he has a breakout year and shows that he can hold up the number one division. That's just the reality of it. But it's Chris Jones for Defensive Player of the Year, especially if they have low expectations for this defense anyway. They're going to say that Chris Jones carried this defense like the rest of the defense don't matter. If the Chiefs want to get their respect on defense, this is the year to do it. That's what I believe. You want to talk about players that want to get paid and stuff like that, like Snead and showing their worth and Bolton. This is the year to do it. Show out. And then they're going to give Chris Jones. They're going to say, well, Chris Jones applied the pressure. But I think as fans, we're going to see all those pieces come together. We're going to talk about the Karlaftis while everybody's just talking about Chris Jones.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Chris Jones, Defensive Player of the Year, too. I think Patrick Mahomes would have to throw for 6,000 yards and 60 touchdowns to even get an MVP vote again. Right? That's how much extensive pressure is on this kid. Wait, huh?
What the hell?
Face red heart shit.
I think they said emoji or something, and it just didn't.
I got you. Yeah, he sent an emoji. That's probably what came up. Yeah.
Okay, whatever. But yeah, I'm going with Chris Jones, Defensive Player of the Year. Patrick Mahomes would have to he would have to have astronomical numbers to get another MVP vote next year. Now, after that, we could talk, but next year, yeah, he'd have to have some astronomical numbers. So
He's
yeah,
about to get that LeBron treatment with the MVPs.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree too. All right, fellas, this was fun, right? Right?
Yeah, we got to do that more often.
Hold on. Can I throw out a question at y'all?
Go ahead.
All right. So I'm not sure if y'all saw that Nick Wright scenario when he was talking about the Chiefs are most like are going to three-peat. That was his prediction.
Okay.
If the Chiefs were to do that, what narratives would you say would change overall?
Definitely the dynasty narrative, because within Chiefs Kingdom we all believe it's a dynasty, but there's people outside of it that definitely question whether it is or isn't. But you three-peat, that would be Mahomes winning 4 Super Bowls. I mean, that would be unquestioned a dynasty.
Yeah. You would have to put this team up there with the Dallas Cowboys in the 90s, the 49ers of the 80s,
the Patriots,
the Steelers, those runs. Like, yeah, the narrative will change, and depend. If Mahomes is playing MVP, like, you might have to change some other narratives too. You know what I'm saying? I know he'll be a lot closer to Mr. Terrific Tom up there. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
That narrative might change. You know what I'm saying?
I already have him as the GOAT, but I know not everybody does.
I hear you. But yeah,
I would say they would be if the Chiefs were to win, if they were to repeat, they would already be in that dynasty conversation.
Yeah. If they win the Super Bowl this season, then yeah, the dynasty talk. You just go ahead and talk about it. Like, they're a dynasty. They've won. And especially if the AFC Championship game is back in Arrowhead, oh yeah, and we win it and go to the Super Bowl and win it, yeah. Like,
I'll say this: if they were to repeat, or if they were to three-peat, matter of fact, I'm not sure if you put him ahead of Tom, but I know he'd be in front of Joe. I got him third right now. Overall.
Yeah, he'd be in front of Joe. He'd be in front of because some people don't have him in front of Peyton Manning. I think I have Patrick Mahomes over Peyton Manning because I think his playoff runs are better than Peyton Manning. I think there was times where Peyton Manning
got carried in that last Super Bowl. Let's be honest. Brock Osweiler
got carried on the stretcher, forklift, every piece of machinery you could think.
But I'm just saying with the Colts, you know what I'm saying? When he was in his real prime, there was a lot of times where he was 13-3 and 15
number one seed, and then they lose the division,
and they get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we haven't seen that with this team other than the first year. We haven't seen.
The AFC Championship game.
The first year in that Bengals, the year when we played the Bengals, like, we either go to the Super Bowl or go to the AFC Championship game. You know what I'm saying? And Patrick Mahomes has been way more successful and looks way better in the playoffs, in the clutch when it comes to the playoffs. So I got him over Peyton Manning.
Mm-hmm. Me too. And then also,
I got him above Andy Joe Reid and Tom.
Where do you put Andy Reid?
If he repeats this season, then we got to have a conversation. Now, if he gets a three-peat, we really got to have
the conversation.
We really got to have a conversation with him and old Billy down there, because
his record without Tom Brady is pretty rough without Tom.
Shaky, you know what I'm saying? And if you see Andy Reid's record without a top-tier quarterback,
it's pretty
damn good. It's pretty damn good. I'm just saying, it's pretty damn good. So,
even in the playoffs, I mean,
you could definitely talk about Andy Reid. You could definitely talk about Andy Reid, top 3 coaches of all time, top 3, at least top 3.
I think you already. I mean,
because you got Bill Belichick.
If he gets more,
some people people like they put Bill Walsh out there because Bill Walsh invented this West Coast offense, and people still use it to this day. They just, I think Andy Reid took
evolved it.
I think Andy Reid took it and evolved it to something that's on a whole other level. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you got to put him up there. You got the Bill Parcells. You got Chuck Noll still out there. Like, there's guys out there who have done it. So. But Andy Reid would definitely be top 3. If he wins it this year, you got to have that conversation. But 3-peat, oh man, you might have to put him top 2
easily.
Might be top 2 and not 2.
No other coach has done it, or no other team has done it. Obviously, if you do a 3-peat, so you could have like that fine line, everything. Well, he done this, he never done that, and then of course, everybody gonna throw out their own scenarios, and you can say the Chiefs have earned every last one of them.
I'll tell you what. In one of these seasons, we go undefeated, and we really got to have a conversation about Mr. Patrick Mahomes.
Oh man,
because he did something Tom didn't do.
He's doing stuff Tom didn't do every game.
I mean, it's
really, if you look at it with the arm talent,
true.
There's no quarterback. You can talk about rings and how much effect that has on whatever, but nobody has ever had more talent at the quarterback position than Patrick Mahomes. And that's
let's just be real. Ring culture has kind of ruined sports, to a certain extent.
It has.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. Because, like I said, Bill Walsh he invented the West Coast offense, and it's still being used till this day.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, ring culture is kind of like ruin sports a little bit because it's like, oh, well, this person got 10 rings or 7 rings, and that person got, you know what I'm saying? And it's more so about the journey than it is getting the ring. Because if you take it to basketball, I think Robert Horry got like 5 or 6 rings. Like, but nobody's talking about him. But 7, 8?
Horry got like 10, I think, or some ridiculous number.
Whatever.
Bill Russell got like 11 of them, but that,
I mean, my man Bill Russell was putting in work, man. He was the top center and a head coach, a couple of them, man. So we're not doing that.
Wait, he was the coach and the player on the same team
at the same time. Baby.
Same time.
I didn't know that.
He was putting players in, like, hey.
You can get out.
We're running the 2-3.
Bitching himself for a glass of water real quick.
We're running 2-3 zone, baby. Let's go.
I didn't know he was really coaching, though. I really didn't know.
He really was, yeah. Seriously.
He was coaching some of them teams.
Better catch one of them YouTube documentaries or something like that. You'll see it.
Yeah, man. He was coaching some of them. Yeah, that's why you got to put some respect on Bill Russell, man. Y'all be disrespectful to the ones that came before us, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at you, Ty.
Yeah, my only final 2 things and everything before I turn it back to you, Chris, is shout out to Aaron Donald and Justin Jefferson for their 99 club. And of course, we expect to see Patrick Mahomes on there probably in the next day or
Kelsey.
So. That's a given. And my only speak of Kelsey.
Jones better be a 99, damn it.
That's what I'm saying.
They won't give him a 97.
He'll get a 97, yeah.
But that's not my disappointing beef. My only disappointing beef, and this is my last part before I say what I gotta say, was I had to put this in the personal chat. But somebody that is a fan of the Bengals organization.
Is the name his name rhyme with Tim? Is the name rhyme with Tim?
Yeah, it's close. But he put the top 5 scariest players on offense. Keyword offense.
That's all that crap.
He
put a kicker on.
He put a kicker. Who's taking this dude seriously, man? Zim is a joke.
Look, there's a reason why kickers are put under special teams. Special teams. Yes, they put up points, but it's special teams.
Look.
My only critique, I mean, I'm not mad at the other ones he had, having Hill and Jefferson, and I'll give him Jamar Chase as far as the dynamics we can do, and obviously Patrick Mahomes. But slide in Kelsey in that spot. That's my only debate about that, because he's arguably been the most dynamic and unguardable tight end, putting up receiver numbers and all that stuff. You have to put him in that top 5.
Yeah, you know why the Bengals didn't put him up? Bengals fans won't put him up there. They claim that they got Travis Kelce's number because of the few games that he struggled against them or whatever. I don't know.
Look, Justin Tucker's a great kicker. He's probably going to go in the Hall of Fame as a kicker.
he will.
Because he's super clutch. I'm not. This ain't a knock to Justin Tucker. There is no way in hell that I'm going to put a kicker on the scariest offensive players list. No. There's so many players out here. I would have been happy if he put Devontae Adams out there.
Yep.
Hell, you could have put Josh Allen on the list. I don't care. Like,
Joe Burrow. Put Joe Burrow on the list.
Could have put Joe on there. Like, I don't care. But you putting a kicker on the list, I'm not scared of no damn kicker.
Last time I checked, kickers don't move the ball.
Exactly. You still got to get in field goal range. He might be able to kick it 64 yards, but you got to get there first.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm not scared of no damn kicker.
I was just that kind of messed up my day seeing that. I'm like,
really? I saw that. When I saw the
I laughed when I saw that. I'm not gonna lie.
When I saw the thing, the screen thing, the thumbnail, when I saw that and he had Justin Tucker, I was like, hey, I'm not even gonna acknowledge this. Why is this on my timeline?
You hit the button. See less.
I was about to mute him. I was about to mute him, but I was like, I know he do them drugs and stuff. Anyway, so yeah, why does he always come up? Like, I can't stand that dude, man. Like, he's public enemy number one. He's the reason why we don't like the Bengals. Let's just be real. He's the reason.
Him and the German Bengals fan and the Bengalorian, that's the four big account. The Bengalorian's another one though. Just like Zim. He goes to the games dressed up as like a Star Wars character mixed with the Bengals. Yeah.
The only thing I will agree with,
so he's their chiefaholic.
Yeah.
Well, as long as you don't get arrested, I'm good with that. But my only issue, the only thing I agree on this week that I've seen is that them Cleveland Browns uniforms is kind of, I don't know what they was thinking.
Man.
I didn't see them yet.
Speaking of uniforms, did you see the video where they revealed the Tampa Bay creamsicle video?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't see the video. I saw the jersey.
Why did they make it seem like it was a drug drop? Like, what are we doing here in Tampa Bay?
He said like it was.
I'm just saying, like, you showed Derek Brooks, and I get it. Derek Brooks, he's a Hall of Fame linebacker. Don't get talked about a lot, but Derek Brooks was a great linebacker. And he's watching the TV. The next day, he's in the club, whatever. You see Mike Evans and a few other players, and they like looking at the line, and then they walk in, and he hands them a duffel bag that some would think it was crack, cocaine or something. It's a bag full of jerseys. Like, wow, we doing this like a drug drop. Like,
yeah, you gotta get a duffel bag out the club.
They walk a bag full of L's. That's the only thing it is.
Mike Evans is looking like Franklin Saint from Snowfall over here. Like, what are we doing over here?
Mike Evans might be the most disrespected player in Madden every year. Talking about Madden ratings, he didn't crack the top 10. They got a Mari.
Why do people don't like Mike Evans? I be wanting to know that. Why do people don't like Mike Evans? He's consistent.
He's had 1,000 yards every
year. He's like Brandon Cooks to me. Like, why do these people,
better?
Why do they don't like them? Like, they get 1,000 yards, they produce. Isn't that what we want?
Because they're not a flashy receiver. Yeah.
1,000 yards is 1,000 yards, right?
I don't care how you get it. You can get it.
Okay, I'm just saying. Whatever.
He was people act like he put up those numbers because of Tom, but Jameis, I remember when he was putting up crazy numbers with Jameis Winston.
He was doing that with a lot of bad quarterbacks over there.
He's going to be doing it again with the bad quarterback.
I don't know. This might be the year he don't do
it. Yeah. He don't get 1,000. He asks out at the end
of the year.
Or
he gets traded by the deadline. That's what I see.
That's going to be like the Brian Burns thing all over again. The Chiefs are trying to get Mike Evans.
No.
Be like, no. Not happening.
Although I don't think teams should be allowed to get a new uniform unless they have at least 10. I mean, granted, it's still old. I don't think you should have any uniform changes if you have less than 10 wins. That's just my thought.
They got to sell something. They got to sell. Sell tickets somehow.
I don't know.
I think the Chiefs need a new uniform. I've been saying that.
That'll never happen, Ty.
I mean, we still on pins and needles about them wearing all red. They need to avoid doing that.
What color you gonna get? All yellow?
Look at
like
the grays.
Bunch of mustard sitting out there.
Get the gray going.
Black.
Nah.
Black Chiefs jersey.
That black and red, yeah. That black and red is nice though.
Now we look like the Falcons.
He's in...
No, we're not doing that. It's not gonna happen, Ty. Just give it up, man. It's okay. We just got traditional color, man. That red.
We just got two.
Maybe you change the arrowhead or something on the side of the helmet or whatever.
They should do like what they did with the Texans, where they had that, but put Missouri on it instead of Texas.
Wait, put what on there, Ty? Say that again.
Well, you gotta put Missouri on it because it's in Missouri.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Ty.
Or you can put Kansas on it, I guess.
No, we're not doing that. That's disrespectful.
Ty, you gotta finish that series too. Because one part I kind of wanted to dive into, but since y'all ain't seen it yet, you gotta watch it, and we'll rap about it.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and land. I gotta watch the last episode. That's the only one I gotta watch.
Yeah, you gotta watch it.
It's 8 episodes,
rap about
right?
it. There was something that stuck out. I kind of talk about it, but I'm like, y'all ain't seen it. Y'all gotta watch it.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's go ahead and land this thing. Look down at the bottom, man. You'll see the link for the locker room access to all the podcasts under the Every Morning Quarterback, emqpodcast.com/locker-room. If you click on that link, you'll see all the podcasts under Every Morning Quarterback, whether it be 49ers, Patriots, Jets, and you'll see our podcast, Arrowhead Chief Podcast. Click on the banner. You'll see all our episodes, recent and past. So go ahead and do that. And also check them out. They are about to start back putting out content now that the football season is coming up. They talk about everything league-wide, and they talk about college football. They talk about betting tips for the week. So go ahead and check them out on the YouTube, EMQ Podcast. Check them out and follow them on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. And whatever streaming platform you use, go ahead and follow us on Spotify, Apple, Google, Stitcher, Anchor, Breaker, whatever streaming platform you use. The Arrowhead Chief Podcast is on there. And whatever social media platform you use, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Threads, follow us, man. We're on there, man. And we'll follow you back because we're not Hollywood. We're just fans, just like you guys, man. So go ahead and follow us. Talk to us nice and normal. We will send Ty to your house to beat you up if you don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm just playing. But no, follow us, man. Give us feedback. Give us critiques. You know what I'm saying? We're open for critiques. Just don't come at us crazy, man. And if you got any things that you want us to bring up with this within reason and it's about the Chiefs, damn it. Go ahead and hit us up, man, and we'll try to bring up
Chiefs or the Knicks.
No, we ain't talking about the Knicks. Whatever topic you guys want us to bring up, we'll try to bring them up because we want to give y'all the best Chiefs content out there. All right. Till next time, Chiefs Kingdom. All right, fellas.